I will ask you simple questions that I've been asking many times here. I congratulate you on strategic compass and the big achievement that has been done. But what are we going to do with the key point that we put on the Western Balkan and situation in Bosnia and Herzegovina, the electoral law? How are you going to resolve this issue? Because the elections are coming and the leaders have not been brought to Brussels to discuss this issue. I think it's a peace and security issue, and the Operation Althea in Bosnia and Herzegovina is increasing. People are getting nervous, they are being scared, rumors are running around, and we are behaving like business as usual. Can I just ask you, what are you going to do about that as a conflict prevention issue?
Difficult question. We discussed the prolonged political crisis in Bosnia and Herzegovina in the last European Council. And as you know, in the European Council conclusions, it said that the European Union reiterates its commitment to the European perspective of Bosnia and Herzegovina and the Western Balkans, and that the leaders of Bosnia and Herzegovina need to demonstrate a strong commitment to finalise swiftly the constitutional and electoral reform, vital for the stability and functionality of the country, and to support reforms set out to obtain a candidate status. And that we, the European Union, stand ready to continue its high-level engagement in this regard. This high-level engagement is my team and me, together with the US team that we have been trying to put into practice with not a lot of success. We have been trying to facilitate an intensive talks between political leaders of Bosnia and Herzegovina on a comprehensive package of constitutional and electoral reform at the senior official level past month. I went to Sarajevo also last month. I strongly encourage the political leaders to make the final steps towards finding an agreement. Important progress were made on all elements of the reform, but the parties could not reach a consensus on which they would put draft a legal amendment to the Parliament discussion for a final vote. So the technical talks, they are exhausted. But we encourage the leaders to continue working in the Bosnia-Herzegovina Parliament, notably on the amendments to the electoral law, which would allow to improve the framework to hold elections in October. Because general elections have to be held this year, in line with the constitutional and legislative framework in place, to allow the citizens to exercise their fundamental right to vote. And there are some issues related with the constitutional reform that we'll have to keep for my second time.
Thank you very much.
Follow-up question?
The follow-up question is regarding Operation Althea. In Compass, Croatia insisted to put 3 constituent people as a balance for Bosnia and Herzegovina future, as a basis of Dayton-Paris peace agreement. You know very well that Althea has to be approved end of the year by all the Security Council. What are you going to do on this line in order to upkeep this necessary balance in Bosnia and Herzegovina and the legitimate representation, and also to relax all the sides to have the extension of Operation Althea going through at UN Security Council? Thank you.
Before going to Operation Althea, allow me to finish your first question. Because when it comes to the constitutional and electoral reform, we need to remove discrimination in line with the judgments of the European Court of Human Rights, improve the integrity of elections, and strengthen the functionality of institutions. Our work has been and will remain to protect the spirit of Dayton, one state, two entities, and three constituent peoples, equally preserving the rights of all citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina, that some of them could not belong to any of these three constituent peoples. And this is what the leaders have to continue working, and I hope that we have a final agreement. Operation Althea. On the dire situation of Bosnia and Herzegovina, I decided to call the reserve, and now there are 500 more effective in Althea military capacities. I went to Sarajevo to receive them, to welcome these 500 soldiers from different nationalities, from Chile to Turkey, and several member states, certainly, that are there in order to ensure peace and stability and to prevent what may happen, let's hope not, if there is not an agreement that could allow us to go ahead and to call for elections and to hold elections in a peaceful and positive manner. But Althea is an operation that has to be granted and authorized by the United Nations. And I hope that the Security Council will prolong the mandate of Operation Althea. But it's not in my hands. You know how does it work. But I want to believe, I want to expect from the responsibility of all political actors that the Security Council will prolong the mandate of Operation Althea. Because I cannot imagine the peace and stability in Bosnia and Herzegovina without the presence of our mission there.